God bless you. On this particular morning meditation, I wanted to talk with you about overcoming a tough season. It's amazing sometimes how we can be having our best life now. And then out of nowhere, something, tough times come, a trying situation, a troubling circumstances, an affliction, an unexpected turn of events. But look, folks, you can overcome your tough season. Many times we're so battle tested by trials that when God finally does deliver and gives us a season of grace, a season from away from temptation, a season away from trying circumstances, we forgot many of the things that we learned going through the various valleys of our life. Look, folks, sometimes when God has delivered you so good, you forget how to fight in some of the different valleys of your life. Sometimes we will even forget all the lessons that we learn going through our rough place, our horrible spot, our temporary fix, our sickness and illness, a trouble in a relationship that our fight muscles have not had, have they not been used. And that's why these various tough seasons that come in our life, they're not as easy to get away from. Even though you're having the life of your dreams, even though you're living your best life now, Job 14:1 is still true. Man, Job's lament from Job 14:1, man that is born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble. You may not be going through a tough season right now, but my word to you is tuck this message away, because you're either coming out of a tough season, you're going through a tough season, or you're well on your way to a tough season. But we got to maintain our head in the tough season. One of the first things we need to learn about tough seasons is that tough seasons didn't come to stay. We so many times we make permanent life-altering decisions over temporary situations. What you're going through didn't come to stay; it came to pass. Nothing that troubles us is permanent. So many horrible decisions. Many people have went to suicide's door, and even further, all the way in the house with suicide, over something that was initially a temporary tribulation, or it could have been a passing test, something that God thought that you would champion. But in tough seasons, sometimes some tough people last, and some people go under. Look, folks, if you're going through a tough season in your life, know that it didn't come to stay. Then the second thing we have to do, we have to maintain our perspective in our tough seasons. The late Bishop G.E. Patterson, my pastor of many years gone by now, he said this. He said that God doesn't attend pity parties. You can send out pity party invitations, and initially many will attend. But after a season, they're not going to want to hear it, because they have enough trials, tribulations, tests, run-ins, breakups, tough times and harsh places of their own, that they don't have time to deal with your persistent pity party. You got to maintain your perspective. In a day, one meeting, your trial could be gone. One casual conversation, you can meet someone that can deliver you out of this situation. God can deliver you just like that. But we can't make radical decisions over something that's temporary. We all are going to go through tough seasons, but you got to maintain your perspective in the tough season. See, the enemy wants you to go to panic's door. Even when Matthew Henry, the great Bible scholar, said this. He said, when you're at wit's end, you're not at faith's end. Look, folks, you're going to go through a tough season, and this may be a trying season for your life, but maintain your perspective. We serve a God that said in 2 Corinthians 5:7, it's pen, the words are pen, that we walk by faith and not by sight. So that means that we walk by the word of God, because faith comes by hearing, Romans 10:17, and hearing by the word of God. You got to maintain your perspective in the midst of your tough season. Many times your tough season is God sometimes moving you through process and testing to your place of purpose. You know, we want to, everybody wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. Everyone wants the glory, but no one wants the story. Look, folks, this is my word to you, and if you're going through a tough season, first of all, that tough season won't last. My second word is that you maintain your perspective during your tough season. And the third and most is trust God. God's not nearly as upset as you are about your tough situation. We don't serve a God who's sitting on the throne biting his fingernails because it's a cliffhanger and he's wondering how this situation is going to come out. He says in his word that I declare the end from the beginning. God's already wrote the conclusion of the whole matter. While he starts it, he finishes it, it's up to us to work the middle. But we got to trust God, a God that said in his word that his word would never return unto him void, a God that truly never fails, a God that's in control of us all. It's in him that we live and move and have our being. We can allow fear and trepidation and all of the negative emotions that come out of a great trying, a great test, a horrible tribulation, a tough season and a tough place. You know, you got to have faith that outlasts the tough place. That rhymes almost, doesn't it? Have faith that outlasts the tough place. The tough place was not your place of burial. It wasn't your grave. It was meant to be a springboard to a life that you've never seen before. Romans 8:28, for now we know that all things work together for the good of them who love God, for them who are the called or called out ones, ecclesia, the call according to his purpose. That word purpose in the original Greek is the word prothesis. It means a setting forth, a plan that God already had designed this tough season to springboard you to the life of your dreams. The strength that many of us have picked up during the tough season. Many times you learn more about God in your tough seasons. How would you know that God was a healer if you had never been sick? How would you know that God is an on-time God? Oh, yes, he is. If God had never shown up on time. How could you know that God is a way maker if you had never had a way that needed to be made? How could you know that God was a lawyer in the courtroom if you didn't have a bad case once? How could you know that he was a doctor in the sick room if someone had never been sick? Look, folks, God's still in control. He still sits on the throne. The earth is still his footstool, and no one's put a banana peel for him to slip up on. God's still in control. You can overcome this tough season. Keep your wits, maintain your perspective, and above all, trust God. In this tough season that you may be going through, God is still the God of the tough season. God can give you favor in the places where you're challenged. God can give you favor on that job where they're aiming for your head, trying to cut off your supply, trying to cut off your promotion, and even trying to cut off your way of life. God can promote you and bless you in places that you never thought that you could be blessed. After all the money is gone, after all the honey is gone, God can come and still restore and pour new wine into your life. My word to you on today, child of God, my brother and sister, that you can overcome that tough place. Tough times never last, but tough people do. That's my word for you. Many times you're going to have to walk by faith and not by sight. Don't allow the enemy to take you to the brink, to suicide's door over something that is not going to stay. God is still in control, and God can be your guide, your helper, your leader. He knows how to work behind the scenes and mend and patch what the enemy had intended for your evil and turn it around for your good. We serve a God that can turn every bruise into a blessing. My word to you is that you can overcome your tough season. That's my morning meditation. Tough times never last, but tough people do. God bless you.